Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition. I'm Mike and welcome to Did You See That? So if you're brand new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button so I can see you again next time. But if you're coming back to the channel, please feel free to also just give this video a big thumbs up and to say that you're enjoying the content. And yeah, so firstly, I've just gotten back from the Adelphi Theatre of seeing Back to the Future, the musical. Now, last time I seen Back to the Future, the musical, it was in Manchester when the premiere happened in February of 2020. So especially when they announced that it was coming back to the UK, but in London this time, because obviously with COVID, it was originally meant to have like a 12-week run, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So this time in London, it's actually having a proper theatrical run. I just want to give you guys my quick spoiler-free thoughts on this theatre performance. So tonight I went with Emma, my partner, and I also went with my sister as well. And yeah, both Emma and my sister have seen Back to the Future before. I think especially more Emma than my sister, but yeah, they both had like previous knowledge of that, but I didn't really know how this was going to transcend into a musical, unlike myself who got to see it in Manchester. So I kind of had some expectations of what that experience was like, well, at least from what I remember of it, because it's obviously been such a long time since I'd actually seen that, or at least again February 2020, and it's now August 2021. So what was my overall thoughts on Back to the Future, the musical at the Adelphi Theatre in London? Well, it was incredible. I sincerely and highly recommend this musical if you've not seen it yourself so far, and generally it's just so good. And I would say that between this version and the Manchester one, for anyone who has seen the Manchester one, it's kind of like wondering, okay, well, is there any differences to actually the production value in this London set? And the answer to that is yes. I felt as if the production value in this set had kind of been like amped up a little bit. Definitely there was some effects in here that wasn't added in previously, and it felt as if it had kind of more of a budget and more of a backing behind it now. Not to say that the Manchester one didn't, but I think kind of like Bob Gale and the team took whatever happened in the Manchester version and kind of just amplified it by 1000%, because honestly this was so good. I just kind of felt like I was cheering throughout the whole thing, but of course being silent, respectful out of the theatre actors and actresses. Yeah, I was just so hyped on this theatre performance. The chemistry between all the actors and actresses in this theatrical show was great. One thing I am going to say is the standout performance in this Back to the Future musical, like the Manchester one, is Hugh Coles, who plays George McFly. He sincerely steals the show, and again, like I said before, it's probably the closest replication we're going to get to Crispin Glover's original George McFly. And I've also got to give big props to everyone who was involved in this production, whether it's down to Roger Bart playing Doc Brown or Ollie Dobson playing Marty McFly, and just, so many other actors and actresses that are performing in this. Truly, they've got a great cast and ensemble behind them, and also the theatrical and musical score that's played throughout. It's just so well versed, and it's just really glued together with the movie. But also I felt as if the songs that they added into this production that isn't in the original soundtrack really added value to the overall production, and also adds a lot of moments that isn't in the film because of obviously kind of reasons. Definitely the newer scenes that they add in here is great. It really definitely adds and carries the story along right up until the end conclusion, which I'm not going to spoil for you guys. The ending itself is just something to behold. So definitely Back to the Future, the musical at the Adelphi Theatre. I highly recommend this production if you've not seen it already, or if you're thinking or you're on the fence about whether you should get tickets or not to see this production. One kind of gripe I am going to give this, so my overall score is a 9.5 out of 10. Now the reason it's a 9.5 out of 10 is simply because in the Adelphi Theatre, one thing I kind of can't recommend on this basis right now is the seating in the upper circle and above. It was just so warm. Like, I honestly was kind of like sweating, and a lot of other people as well sat next to me and behind me felt the same. It's almost as if like the upper levels of like, they say, the upper circle and so forth didn't have air conditioning, so it was a really just suffering throughout this production. And you're kind of there to just sit back, relax, enjoy the production, enjoy kind of surprises along the way, or sing along with the musical numbers, etc. The issue is apparently the downstairs level was like aircon and really cool, and it was really nice. When my sister actually went down to visit it, when she actually kind of went outside for the interval, actually the upstairs bit wasn't really aircon. Now again, that isn't against the actors or actresses or the production team in this, because obviously they don't control the aircon in the theatre themselves, or if you're going to be selecting tickets. Don't get me wrong, the upstairs kind of view looking down onto the stage is incredible. I would kind of recommend on that basis seeing like the effects that they have in this. You're probably going to get a better view. Issue is though, you're going to be sitting through a kind of a 2.5 hour production of no aircon. So if you can kind of bear that in mind, and we kind of want to bear with that in general, then I'd recommend it on that basis. But if not, I would definitely recommend kind of the stall seating. And I believe also the Back to the Future musical has a premiere of September 18th or 19th, where it's like a press night. So if you're also interested, I know that the release tickets online starting from around £19 or £19.50. So I'll leave the links to, if you want to check out Back to the Future the musical, down below. And again, I also do know that my partner Emma and my sister as well really love this musical and really just left with smiles, and all of us did, and just knowing that we had a fantastic time. And also on a cool side note is, before the production started, Bob Gale himself was actually outside of the theatre meeting some fans, and I managed to meet Bob Gale himself, and truly that was just a remarkable moment. I kind of can't really put that into words, but yeah, it's such a really cool moment. So maybe if you get down to the theatre early as well, you could possibly meet Bob Gale or Alan Sevester. And I know one person in the audience also mentioned that Rob Zemeckis was also there, so definitely worth attending and definitely worth getting down a little bit early, and you could maybe meet some of the original, like, you know, cast, production and directing crew of Back to the Future. So if you've been to the kind of premiere of Back to the Future musical tonight, or if you're planning to go, leave your comments below and let me know what you thought of the production once you've seen it as well. But in the meantime, give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel once again if you haven't. So until the next time that you see me, I'll be seeing you later.